is Kojo Zulaiha, a 23-year-old girl who lives at Nyankpala in the Tolong District of the Northern Region. Zulaiha could not get the opportunity to attend formal education because her parents died when she was very young. Since then, life has not been easy for her because she did not have a place to call home. After the sudden death of her parents, she had been wandering around people's houses, pleading for assistance until she met a young man who took advantage of her dilemma and impregnated her. Interestingly, Ghana is a signatory to the Sustainable Development Goals. Goal 4 states that ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning for all. Can this goal be achieved, especially in Ghana? Looking at the plight of this 23-year-old poor Zulaiha, suddenly many young girls in the northern region face similar situations. Sadly for Zulaiha, she has 2 children and is currently 8 months pregnant with her 3rd child. The first and second children are 8 and 4 years old respectively. According to her, after the demise of her parents, she had nothing to depend on, which compelled her to depend on men for survival. She narrated her ordeal to our news team. According to UNFPA, Northern Region recorded one of the highest rates of teenage pregnancy and child marriage, with the rate of 35.8%. Sources being from Ghana Statistical Service as at 2015.
I decided to live with so many people, but in the end, I was sacked due to the pregnancy that I'm carrying right now. Later, my grandmother had to sack me to go back to our village so that I can show the pregnancy to the family members. But unfortunately, things were not getting better, so I have to leave there and come back here to stay in Nyankpala. When I came, I didn't have anywhere to stay, so I brought my things to this uncompleted building.
Zulaiha had a sister called Asibi who is currently living in Tamale with her husband, but the husband could not allow her to stay with them since their home was not spacious enough. She then left her sister's place to Nyankpala, a community in the Tolong District, to struggle on her own. A good Samaritan, Azumi Nanlabna, a local Pito brewer at Nyankpala, actually took her in as her granddaughter until one day the Pito brewer sacked her from her abode after realizing she was pregnant.
Was here one day when she came in with my granddaughter, who is her friend. They came in from outside, and upon seeing her, I had pity on her because she was quite frustrated. Like a daughter, just because I also have other daughters. Whilst we were staying, unfortunately, she got pregnant. I decided to do a follow-up and know who the dad of the child is. But as difficult as it was, I couldn't. So I had to send her back to her caretakers. That's people who were taking care of her before I got to know her. And when she went, and it took her some time before she got back to me. And her reply was that she couldn't find her caretakers any longer, or they didn't receive her. Upon arrival, I didn't know she was around, but it took a very long time before I saw her outside sleeping. Outside, she was basically sleeping outside, and there was no shelter for her. So again, like a mother, I had some pity on her and I brought her in. We are here together until the sister came in, a sister of hers came in and asked me to let her go because they don't want anything to happen to her, and if anything should happen to her, I will be held responsible. So I had no other option than to let her go.
Sadly, the man Zulaiha claimed is responsible for the pregnancy, Abdul Razak, also denies responsibility for it. Zulaiha had no option than to stay in an uncompleted building in Nyankpala. Kojo Asibi is the sister of Zulaiha, who also shared with us what happened after she sent her sister out to look for the man responsible for her pregnancy.
Zulaiha is my younger sister. She came to introduce her guy to me. Not long after the introduction, I discovered she was pregnant, but Zulaiha wasn't aware. Zulaiha was cohabiting with her guy when she last had her menstrual flow. She came home and she didn't experience it again. She didn't know she was pregnant and she didn't inform her man too. To Zulaiha, she related missing her menses to ill health. Then she went for medical checkup only to be told she was pregnant. I asked her who is responsible. Zulaiha said a guy in Sanargu she had earlier introduced to me. We confronted him and he denied he wasn't responsible and drove us away from his compound. Zulaiha still has his room keys with her and Zulaiha keeps insisting he is responsible. The guy is Razak. Razak refused and assured Zulaiha's family that we can take him anywhere to get matters of the pregnancy settled.
Zulaiha shared with our news team the trauma she goes through in this uncompleted building with her unborn child.
I feel that I'm being exposed to so many dangers and I'm not secured, so I'll be awake till daybreak. I was required to go and do a scan, but unfortunately I don't have any money with me, so I didn't go back again to do the scan.
Mr. Mohamed Awo, the executive director of NOSAC, appeals to all citizens to fight against teenage pregnancy and other behaviors which affects the well-being of children.
We have rape and defilement cases and also teenage pregnancies not reducing as expected. But in some areas you will find it increasing. Few areas you will find the curve flattening. But it's not as expected. Because if you still have 2 out of 5 girls becoming pregnant in some communities, it's not a good thing. And so we really need to continue education, get girls to understand how to protect themselves if they ever decide to be involved in sexual relations. All our institutions have the responsibility to support these girls. Family, school, the state institution, we all have the responsibility to support these girls. We shouldn't allow them to be devising an orthodox way of taking care of themselves. The state has the responsibility to protect all its citizens. At the local level, the district assemblies, the Ghana Health Service, they all have rules that they must play to make sure that our girls are safe at all times. And like I indicated, there can never be a justification to denounce a girl because she's pregnant. There can never be a justification. The health service providers must give her adequate service. Adequate service. The family must make sure they give her that protection. They give her that support. Peers should also provide. But if we just leave it and then peers are now devising ways of providing support to themselves by way of either contributing money for abortion and all those things. Yes, you see that they are feeling a situation of helplessness.
But SDG Goal 3 staples that ensure healthy life and promote well-being for all at all ages. It becomes more worrisome for Zulaiha knowing that she has been to the clinic just once since the beginning of her pregnancy till now. But she needs to attend antenatal care regularly to avoid any form of complications during delivery. Her daily feeding depends on the sympathy of people around her. This has been very challenging on her part and she is humbly appealing to the general public for support.